Good day, everybody. I want to do a quick video on growing watermelons again. I want to say I lost my mojo on growing big watermelons. We used to always, growing up, have gigantic watermelons, and the Jubilee is usually the most, which is just what this variety is usually the staple in this area in the South. And so I've been wondering why my watermelons haven't been that big. We do a pretty good uh, fertilizer schedule. Um, is normal. But growing up, I don't remember us being real aggressive as far as fertilizing our watermelons, and we always had big watermelons. We used to sell them and everything. But this year, my father used to always grow watermelons in a different area every year, and that is the best thing to do as far as putting them in new ground. Back here in this plot right here, I always plant in the same area. So I expanded my garden out this year in this new ground. So I'm hoping that's going to be the difference, is plant them in brand new ground. We're also going to do our fertilizer schedules we normally do. I just did, plants are starting to run. So what I'm going to do, I hadn't done any fertilizing so far. So we're going to go at our trusty triple 13. We're going to try to, we got some cleanup out here to do. We're going to try to get some of these weeds on the sides growing so they can kind of grow in a weed-free environment. We did plant them a little bit further apart. By growing one row, I try to stack as many watermelons as possible. So this year I was a little bit more spacious with it, and I got them about, 3 to 4 feet apart. It's kind of hard to tell now. Like I say, side dress them with a little bit of this. We can increase our yield this year. So like I said, we're going to side dress them with some triple 13 granule fertilizer. And so we'll be back a little later for a update and then harvest. So we'll see what we get this year. Thanks for watching. All right, y'all. Today is June the 16th. So, I just want to give you a shot of the watermelons. Man, they filling out wonderful. After that treatment of triple 13, I did one more treatment of triple 13. I did it a little more aggressive than the last time I showed you. But basically, this was about a week or so ago, just did a generous side dressing around the base of the plant and massage it into the soil. I just basically let them go, and we've been getting a lot of rain, and so that's part of the reason we've been, the vines look so wonderful. So we got some nice watermelons coming along so far. So we're gonna see how things turn out. Probably about 2 or 3 more that I can see back in there. Hopefully we got some hidden jewels in there. But so far so good. I just wanted to give you a quick update on them. And the next time we come back, we're gonna harvest them, and which will probably be in July. So I planted these kind of early so I can have some, watermelons ready by July. 4th of July is usually the most popular time to eat watermelons. But anyway, appreciate y'all for watching so far. And don't forget to subscribe to AG Outside. We'll be right back. Okay, y'all, today is July the 4th, and we are going to harvest some watermelons. I'm going to kind of look at some of the watermelons we got, and I can tell, like, with the results I got this year, that, it's true that, you need to grow watermelons in, undisturbed ground, to get the best results. Because this year I did that, and I got amazing results. I've planted them over here in my garden, in areas with, where the soil has been disturbed. I've grown other vegetables, and I try to come back the next year and grow watermelons. And I just hadn't been able to get any big watermelons, and I just thought that was odd. And then I saw where you need to plant watermelons in ground that hadn't been disturbed. I've heard as little as 2 years, and I've heard as much as 7 years. So I'm not real sure. If you have experience growing watermelons and you see this video, please, in the comment section, let me know what you think. But that's been the difference, because I had my garden in a fenced in. So I took that fence down. Once I took the fence down, I was able to start expanding over. So that's why I thought it would be good to do an experiment this year, because I broke new ground on this side. And so, well, let me put my watermelons this time in this undisturbed ground. So, and the results have been amazing. So, and that's just how it was growing up when we grew watermelons. We always grew them in different spots. It's just I can't grow watermelons anymore outside of my fence, because the deer will eat them up. And growing up, we didn't have a problem with deer. It's just But so that's why I had to keep everything contained inside my fence. But so what I'm gonna do is, well, let's go over a couple of the ones we got. There's a monster right there. I mean, it's about the biggest you wanna, just a Jubilee. So just amazing, results this year. I can see the difference. So if you want to grow watermelons, you need to really grow them in new ground. And I've done everything in the past. I've amended the soil around where I planted the watermelons with compost. Put like I was real aggressive on fertilizing them, and still not big watermelons. So, and I knew that had to be the reason. So, we got a few big ones in there. This side of the garden, it gets shade from this tree, and when it rains, and we got a lot of rain this year, this down here doesn't drain as well as this up here. So the watermelons advance faster up here. So we got some coming along down here that I feel like are gonna get big. But I'm kind of glad of that because I don't have watermelons already at one time. But get a video a thumbs up. The more thumbs up I get, the more it'll show up in the algorithm. And there's a lot of watermelon videos out there, so it's kind of tough for a video to show up when it comes to growing watermelons. But if you got a large amount of land like I do, I suggest just breaking new ground. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna expand and grow watermelons over in this area next year. We're gonna come out a little bit, so that'll be our new ground next year for watermelons. And then I'm gonna plant on the opposite side of my garden. I'm gonna save a spot that I'm gonna leave undisturbed, and we'll grow watermelons the following year there, and then we'll plant them again here on the second year. So like I said, we're gonna give at least 2 years for each area to rest, and hopefully we'll continue to get the same results. But anyway, I hate to be long-winded, but let's go ahead and harvest. So what I look for, this little tentacle. First thing you're gonna look for that to be dried out. That's kind of one indication that it's met the days of maturity. Second thing I do is, of course, just trying to turn it over, and the bottom of it ought to be yellow. So that one is yellow. And third thing you gotta do is thump it. It ought to sound kind of hollow. That lets you know that flesh inside is nice and crisp. Because when a watermelon is developing and before it get ripe, the meat is kind of spongy and full of water. Another thing that I can do, or you can do, is you can put your ear up to the watermelon and just kind of press down on it, and you'll kind of hear the flesh crack inside. And that's just like a fourth thing you can do. But I feel pretty confident this one is ready. So we're gonna go ahead and pull this one. I like to try to get it, leave as much of the stem as possible on there. The longer the stem, it just kind of increases the shelf life. So I should have had my clippers out here, but oh, that's a nice watermelon. So we're gonna harvest a few more. Ought to be ready too. Since that stem at the end is still kind of green, I don't think I'm gonna leave this one. Let that stay a little longer. All right, I got a few more that may be ready. I don't see where that tentacle is quite dried out. So to be air of caution, I'm gonna just go with these 4, and we're gonna cut them and make sure they're right. But man, yep, this is what I'm used to. You know, these are some nice watermelons. I'm really happy this year with the result. Now we've always had sweet watermelons, but they just hadn't been this big. But like I said before, please like the video, please share the video, please comment in the video if you got experience growing watermelons, or if you have any techniques that you use to get consistent results growing watermelons, please share. So I really appreciate y'all for watching. I'm out of breath from walking with these big watermelons, but please subscribe to AJ Outside, man, and y'all have a great day. Today is 4th of July, so I hope everybody has a good, safe 4th of July. Thank you and have a great day.